So obviously my main overarching goal is to throw a 95, but what's the point in throwing 95 if you can't throw a strike? And I get asked a lot of questions on what do I do to train command, because I used to have the worst command ever and not that great of velocity, but I always had really good stuff and strikeout stuff and swing and miss stuff. What's gotten me to have significantly better command is very simple, and I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. A lot of people also ask me, what's the command trainer that you have? Give me the link to the command trainer. And getting a strike zone is great. That's a great option, but here's something that you can do simply with just a band and a fence. Anytime that you throw a ball, you should be throwing to some sort of target. All I have right here is a band hooked up to a fence with a simulated strike zone, and track your progress as you're doing it. Write down in your head or on your phone or something when you throw a strike and when you throw a ball, and track the frequency of your strike ratio, work your other pitches in, track the frequency of strikes on those pitches. But whether you're throwing to a target like this or a partner, always pick out a very small, specific location. I'm not just throwing at this fence. Like, a lot of people would just look at this fence and throw at the fence. Then there's a small group of people who would look at the band and try to throw it inside the band. But what I do is I pick out a little link on the fence and I try to throw it through that little link on the fence. And this is what you should be doing in games as well. Pick out as small of a target as you possibly can. Anytime you're throwing with a partner even, pick out a little small spot on their shirt. I have a little dirt spot on my shirt. If you're throwing to me, try to throw at this little small speck on my shirt. When you narrow your awareness down to as small as possible, your margin of error also decreases as well. If I'm just throwing to this fence here, now my margin of error is bigger than the fence. If I'm throwing to the strike zone, my margin of error is bigger than the strike zone. If I'm throwing to a specific spot on the fence, now my margin of error is limited. So command training in general is pretty simple. You're not going to hit the spot every time, but just make some sort of strike zone, pick out some sort of target, and try to throw through that target.